Hi, everyone. Welcome to Gentle Movement, Yin, and Restorative Yoga on this Lunar New Year. Happy Chinese New Year. So have pillows, a blanket, 2 yoga blocks, if you have that, and a strap. And find a comfortable seat. You may want to fold your blanket and sit up onto the front edge of it, helping to slightly tilt your pelvis forward as you bring your legs out in front of you. And then take a moment here to just orient yourself into your space where you're practicing yoga. Feel into your physical body. Maybe it means shifting around for a moment, or closing your eyes, or placing your hand at your heart. Beginning to connect your inner being and your outer being as you sense the quality of your breath just as it is. So last night here was a new moon phase, and today's a new year, a lot of newness. So this is an appropriate excerpt from the Yoga Almanac called Building, the Practice of Habitual Ritual. What are you building? Is it an empire or a home, a stronger body or a stable mind? Is it intentional or haphazard? Whatever it is you are developing, consciously or not, you are creating a practice. A practice is a habit, pattern, or tendency that gives way to a consistent, regular routine. Practices are building blocks that make us more resilient. Yoga is a process of slow and steady building, be it sequencing of physical postures or fostering inner resiliency. The sutras describe our samskaras as inherited karmic patterns that are reinforced through unconscious repetition, in part due to societal conditioning. As we develop awareness for these cyclical patterns, noticing them as they arise, we undo what is outmoded so that we may eventually break free. In this freedom, we are able to develop new, healthier habits and build toward the strongest version of ourselves. Building is a process of determination and grit. Building anything, relationships, spaces, businesses, inner knowing, is hard work. Whether you're practicing challenging postures or prolonged pranayama, it takes patience, surrender, and strength. We train our bodies and our minds by building from the ground up. Each time we come to the mat, we are reminded that persistence matters, and we learn to celebrate the small victories. Just as any building project requires a blueprint, habit building asks us to calculate a practical roadmap that leads us to where we're going. The French writer, poet, and aviator Antoine de Saint-Exupéry said, "A goal without a plan is just a wish." We commit to what we are building by plotting a course. Not all plans need to be seismic changes in our lives. Even small decisions and commitments can create a paradigm shift. So what are you building? What are you building right now, and what you're putting your focus, your attention onto? Let's become intentional with that. Maybe joining your hands in prayer and starting by saying to yourself what your intention is for this practice. And perhaps call on someone that you might dedicate this practice to, sharing the benefits of it from afar. And then take a deeper breath as you ground firmly through your left and right sitting bones, opening your mouth as you release any stagnant air, any stagnant energy. Let's try that twice more, clearing out. Inhale through the nose, a little slower, a little deeper. And exhale through the mouth, any sound, let it go. Once more, inhaling deeply. Exhale. And chant chanting 3 ohms together. Take a deep breath. Bow your head towards your heart, aligning them with each other. And let's slow down the breath, beginning with box breathing, Samavriti Pranayama, a grounding, calming breathing technique. You may want to rest your hands in your lap, maybe palms face down. If you want to accentuate that grounding energy we're cultivating, empty this breath. We're just breathing through the nose. Hold the breath out. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it in. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale through the nose. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it out. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 4. Hold. 4. Exhale. 4. Hold. 4. Continue counting on your own. 2 more cycles. And when you eventually finish at your own pace, let's remove the pauses between the breaths and ease into slow, balanced inhale and exhale through the nose. Gently narrowing the back of your throat, begin to create a soft whispering sound, practicing Ujjayi Pranayama, or victorious breathing technique. So listen to that sound here. Can you hear the length of your inhalation take just as long as the length of your exhalation? Slowing your breath down without straining, listen to that subtle transition between the in and the out breaths. Let the sound help to soothe your mind, anchor your attention in the present moment, and remind you that you're breathing here and now, bringing this body, mind, breath together. So as you keep that sound rhythm going, let's start to lower onto our hands and knees, all fours. And as you place your palms face down on the ground, if you'd like to stretch your inner wrists, you can turn out your hands, spinning your fingertips to face the left and right edges of your mat, maybe facing your knees if that feels comfortable. Now let's begin a few rounds of cat-cow, Betalasana. Inhaling, glide your chest through your upper arms, coil it up, and press your shoulder blades down your back. Exhaling, scoop your belly inward, dropping your head round your back. Nice and slow to your breath. Inhale, chest forward, looking up. Exhale, contract your belly, looking down. Take at least 5 more slow rounds on your own of Biralasana, cat-cow pose. We're going to be holding restorative postures for sometimes 5 minutes at a time. So we're really starting with some gentle movements here, moving a little bit of everything, as our restorative postures will be a little bit of everything. Opening the fronts of the shoulders, back bending, spinal twisting, forward folding, turning out the thighs, opening the hips. So we'll integrate a little bit of those kinds of movements in our warm-up. And then as you turn your index fingers forward so they're parallel to each other, sink your hips down to your feet, entering child's pose. In child's pose, walk your hands over to the right, coming into a lateral extension of your spine, or side bend. Reaching both hands perhaps outside of the right edge of your mat. Send your left hip back towards your left foot. Let's take 5 more breaths here, relaxing the shoulders away from your neck. And then walking your hands through center, keep your pelvis low to your feet and reach your hands over to the left, perhaps outside of your mat. Tacking your right hip back, stretching the right side of your torso. And then walking your hands through center, let's tuck the toes, separating your feet hips width apart. Reach your hands forward, actively spreading your fingers. Rotate your triceps or outer upper arms towards the floor, spreading the shoulder blades across your upper back. And lengthen your neck as you press the shoulders away from it. Feet hips width, tucking the toes, bend your knees and lift your hips high. Press your sitting bones back, arriving at downward facing dog. And take at least 5 breaths here to move your body out the way that helps you to loosen up your joints. Like you might pedal your feet in place, warming up the backs of your legs, your ankles, your knees. You might swivel your hips left and right as you do that, like you're doing the twist. You might shake your head no a few times, nod your head yes a few times. Maybe fluttering your lips, help to relax your neck and jaw. Notice what wants to move. Couple more breaths. And then walking your feet forward, arrive at the front of your mat, standing in a forward fold. Feet hips width or wider apart, parallel. Bend your knees so much here that as you catch opposite elbows with your hands, you can comfortably relax your neck and lift your shoulders away from it. You might move gently by swaying your spine side to side, slightly straightening one leg as you lean towards it and then the other. Breathe here. Notice how it might feel to switch the cross of your arms as you pull your elbow tips gently towards the ground. Lift your sitting bones up and shift your weight forward, as far forward as you can stay balanced. Let's take another 3 breaths. You might continue to shake and nod your head. Getting some blood flow to the brain, to the digestive organs, stimulating your circulation. Then with your knees still bent, grab your blocks, Place them on their tallest height, about a foot in front of your feet. So as you press your fingertips into the blocks firmly, with knees bent, inhale, draw the crown of your head forward towards the front of the room as you rise to a flat back, peeling the shoulder blades down your back, firming the belly inward. And then exhale, knees still bent, bow over your legs. Let's try twice more. Inhale, stretch the top of your head forward, lengthen from your hips to your armpits, lengthen through your crown. Exhale, fold over your legs. Once more, inhale, rise forward to a flat back, firming your belly inward. Exhale, bow in. Place the blocks alongside your feet and bend your knees a lot more. Drop your arms, drop your head, and as you breathe in, roll your spine slowly upright, as though stacking one vertebra at a time, lifting your head last. As you arrive at the top, you might shrug your shoulders before releasing them back and down. And then let's start to flow in half sun salutations. Inhale, circle your arms apart. Look up as your palms touch. Exhale, bend the knees and bow over your legs. Press into your shins or your blocks. Inhale, lift the crown of your head forward, stretching your spine. Exhale, fold over your legs. From down to your feet, inhale, circle your arms overhead, rising to stand. Watch your palms meet. Exhale, trace your thumbs down the center line of your body. Hands in prayer, then by your sides. Let's take 2 more rounds. Inhale, sweep your arms overhead. Exhale, bow over your legs. Press with your fingertips. Inhale, lift the crown forward, halfway up. Exhale, bow again. Inhale, root through your feet and rise tall. Palms touch. Exhale as though blessing yourself here. Trace your palms in prayer down to your energy centers. Adding on, we're going to take a slow, gentle version of Sun Salutation C so we can warm up the lower body a bit. So as you breathe in, sweep your arms forward, roll your shoulders back, coil your chest lightly up and look up. As you breathe out, bend your knees and bow over your legs. With your fingertips on blocks outside of your feet, inhale, step your left knee back, come into a kneeling lunge. Let's take 3 breaths here, sliding the shoulders down, sinking your tailbone towards the ground, and gently scissoring your right outer hip back as you look up. Broaden your collarbones wide apart, drawing the fronts of your shoulder heads behind you. Take another breath in, and as you exhale, crawl down to your hands and your knees. Knees right under hips, wrists right under shoulders, fingers spreading flat. Take another breath in, and as you exhale, glide forward. Bend your elbows back to hug your side ribs and gently lower to the floor. Legs straight back. Slide your forearms forward so your elbows land just under your shoulders, lifting your chest. And let's take 3 to 5 breaths here in Sphinx pose. Fanning out your toes, root down firmly through each toenail, and reach your tailbone back towards your inner heels. Send the fronts of your shoulders behind you and press your shoulder blades down your back. As you look forward on the ground, lengthen the back of your neck. Relax your eyes. 1 more deep breath. As you exhale, slide your palms back beside your floating ribs, then press up to hands and knees. Spread your fingers wide and tuck your toes. Exhale again, downward facing dog. Take a full cycle of breath here, lifting your tailbone, relaxing the back of your neck, and broadening across your shoulder blades. Inhale, raise your left leg behind you. Exhale, bend your left knee forward to step the foot beside your left thumb. Lower your back knee, place your hands on your tallest height of your blocks. High lunge. front knee bending just over the heel. Sink your tailbone. Send the fronts of your shoulder bones back. Send the shoulders down as you look up. 2 more breaths. Tucking your right toes. Exhale, step right foot forward and fold over your legs. Inhale, sweep your arms forward, rise up to stand, roll your shoulders back and down, look up. Exhale, bend your knees, bowing over your legs. Hands on your blocks again. Inhale, step your right knee back. Looking up in your kneeling lunge, take 3 breaths. Sinking your hips, but drawing your belly in, away from your left thigh. On an exhale, lower your hands and knees to the ground. From hands and knees, take a deep breath, lap back. Exhale, glide forward, graze your elbows by your ribs and lower all the way down. This time, keep your hands alongside your floating ribs and let's take a few breaths in Cobra pose. Fanning out your toes, root down through your toenails and roll the fronts of your shoulders back, lifting your chest lightly. Lengthen the back of your neck by looking down ahead. Now relax the face. Reach your sternum towards the front of the room. Big toes towards the back of the room. Take 1 more breath. And as you exhale, press up to hands and knees. Tuck your toes. Take another breath. Exhale, lift your hips high and back, downward dog. Take a full cycle of breath here. Lifting your tailbone high, pressing the fronts of your thigh bones back. On your next inhale, raise your right leg behind you. Exhale, step that foot forward beside your right thumb. Lowering your back knee, place your hands on your high blocks. High kneeling lunge. Look up, let's take 3 breaths. Tucking your back toes, step your left foot beside your right foot and bow over your legs. Inhale, sweep your arms forward, rise to stand and drop your shoulders back. Exhale, bring your hands together in prayer down your center line. And then come on down to sit. We've got 1 more warm-up movement for our hips, actually 2. So come on down to your back, bend your knees, and separate your feet on the mat, wider than your hips distance apart. Separate your knees just as wide apart as your feet. You can rest your hands on your belly, that can feel grounding, or you can open the arms like a cactus shape. Inhale, drop both knees to the right, so we're windshield wiping the legs. Exhale, drop the knees to the left. Take about 10 breaths, just going back and forth or side to side. Inhale, knees to the right. Exhale, knees to the left. Keep going, 8 more breaths. You might also be enjoying a glute and lower back massage as you do this. Slow down your movement just as slowly as your breath. Listen to the whisper at the back of your throat as you practice Ujjayi. And once you've finished, about 10 breaths or equally on both sides, then draw your bent knees towards your chest and hold on to your knees. Now let's rotate the thighs apart, separating the knees wide, and rotate the thighs together, bringing the knees together. Inhale, exhale, 10 more breaths. Feel free to switch it up or move more organically, just circling each leg in the opposite direction if you like. Most importantly, listen to your breath and move as slowly as it. About 3 more breaths here. And then as you're ready, gently roll yourself to one side and press your hands into the ground to lift your torso upright. And let's prepare for our first restorative posture, which is a supported back bend using your 2 blocks. So now there are different configurations that you could experiment with depending on what your body wants right now. So probably the most conservative, if you're feeling kind of tight in the fronts of your shoulders to start with, is tallest block, rear of your mat, medium block going across your mat. You're gonna lie down so the block that's closer to you is where you land the area. Just a moment, this music's really loud. The area that's right underneath your shoulder blades is gonna come onto the medium block, and the back of your head is gonna lie on the taller block. Now you could also choose to make the medium height block trace the midline of your mat instead, and that might have a different effect on your shoulders. You can play with that. And that, if so, then you'll want that block even closer to the tall block. Now, if you make the block that's under your head 1 step lower, it increases the lift in your chest. Another step lower increases the lift in your chest a lot more. No block, maybe instead a blanket, which is lower, increases the chest lift much more. So you can decide. You can also make an equal sign out of your 2 blocks. Play with the setup, come in and out for a moment, because we're actually going to be here for 4 minutes. That's quite some time, so making sure that you've got the configuration that your body is asking for. Now your legs can either be extended forward. You might like a pillow underneath the backs of your knees to support a light bend in the knees if you've got any tightness or tension in your lower back. Or you could bend the knees apart, bringing the soles of your feet together, which will bring some opening into your inner thighs. So once you've found your configuration of props, take a moment to adjust your 2 shoulders, making sure they're releasing downward evenly away from your neck. You find it useful to turn the palms face up by your sides, rolling the front of your shoulders back. And then close your eyes perhaps. Take a slow breath in. Exhale just as slowly through your nose. As you inhale, visualize your heart center located at the center of your chest by your sternum. Perhaps visualize a glowing green light and a feeling of warmth and nurturing. Stoking that green light energy of your heart center with each breath in. Allow your lungs to receive that warmth. With each breath out, sending it out to all those around you. Stay mindful of your breathing. And if that visual of the green light at your heart center helps to ground your attention in the present, keep seeing that in your mind's eye. Feel the gentle strength of your breath. The grace with which it flows in and out. There's the earth element related to the heart energy center, Anahata chakra. Taking in the air, inspiration, and releasing any stagnant air. So that marks our 4 minutes, but move very slowly. Take your time coming out of this and rising to sit. You might step your feet onto the pillow or the ground first and pause for a couple of breaths. Maybe drop the knees together if the knees were splayed open. Whether you roll over to one side or you press both hands on the floor and begin to lift your head and torso. Take your time rising up to sit. Our next posture is going to be 4 minutes on each side of a restorative spinal twist. So set up your pillow at the front of your mat, tracing the midline of your mat. You might find it useful to create an incline where you place 1 or 2 blocks right at the top of your mat underneath that end of the pillow, so the bottom of the incline is closest to you. Might be a good place to start. Have a blanket or another pillow nearby in case you're going to want more support. And then have a seat with your right hip flush against the bottom edge of that pillow towards the middle of your mat, extending both of your legs towards your left wall. Then keep your right leg there and slide your left leg towards the back of your mat, creating a L shape out of your legs. Then place your hands along the left and right sides of the pillow and turn your chest completely to face the front of your mat, adjusting from your pelvis down your legs, however you need to comfortably do that. To completely turn your chest to face forward. Like I'm bending the knees here, I'm also scissoring the right hip slightly back away from the pillow. And then begin to lower your belly. And if it feels like the pillow's too low, you can use your blanket or another pillow and fill that gap. You can remove the blocks if you're feeling like it's too high. And then as you come down, if you want to lie face down, you might want to use some other prop just underneath your forehead so that you can breathe. Or you can turn your head to one side and just remember which side you're looking at so that you'll do the opposite on the second side of the twist. So I'm already setting the timer here for 5 minutes before we switch sides. Once you've found the position in which you can be still in, take a scan of your body. Start with your neck and shoulders and face. Relax all of those areas and continue scanning your body all the way down slowly to the bottom of your feet, just making sure everything is relaxed and letting go to feel supported. You're not doing work to sustain this posture. And after you finish that, arrive your attention at your breath again, riding the gentle sound waves of your breath. Spinal twists, as you may know, promote digestion, help release blockages of energy in the area of your solar plexus, Manipura chakra, mid-back, upper abdomen region, just below your rib cage. You might visualize a bright yellow glowing light there. Calling on the power of your digestive fire, Agni. This energy center is called Manipura chakra. Your center of personal power, willpower to move into action and actualize what you envision. So on this new moon and Lunar New Year, remind yourself of what you are creating intentionally. Stay aware of your breathing. Let your breath release any stagnant energy, remembering that your breath itself is a vehicle to circulate life force energy that moves through your chakras. Let's begin to transition. Take several breaths to do so, pressing your hands into the floor, slowly lifting your skull and your chest, then your belly. Leave your props just where they are and eventually sit up facing the back of your mat with your legs straight in front of you. Take a few breaths here. Notice what you're feeling in different sides of your body. Leaving your right leg facing the rear of your mat, slide your left leg towards the right wall, which is actually your left side right now. Creating an L shape out of your legs so that your left hip is flush against the pillow. Then place your hands to frame the left and right sides of that pillow. Turning your chest completely to face the front of your mat, adjust your pelvis and your legs so that you can comfortably do so. And then begin to lower your torso, adjusting your props as you need so that you can relax into them and not have to work to hold your body in this position. Resting your head in the opposite direction. If you turned your head to one side earlier, be here for 5 minutes. Slow breath in and exhale completely. Like we did on the first side, mentally scan your body. Feel into any areas that might be hesitant to surrender and relax. Breathing in, breathing out. Ground here in your body. in this present moment. So again, take your time lifting your head, lifting your torso, and eventually rising up to sit. You take that pillow and place it out in front of you, or sit facing the pillow square with your legs straddled wide. You may or may not want to use the pillow, but at least you'll have it to support you to start with. You might take a moment to place your hands on the ground behind your glutes, flex your feet, point your knees up, your toes up, and then lift your pelvis and see if it might come forward. Place the pillow just in front of your pelvis. If you'd like to make an incline, place a block or 2 blocks underneath the further edge of the pillow. And then lifting your chest, prepare to fold forward for 3 minutes. You might want a folded blanket under your forehead if you want to lie face down here. Rest your shoulders down your back. Keep your throat open, relaxing your arms. Take a slow breath and keep it going. Slowly pressing your hands into the ground, begin to lift your head, lift your torso. Now, I invite you to choose a way to prop up your body where you can elevate your legs as we set up for Shavasana. So it could be a gentle elevation, like a pillow underneath the backs of your knees. It could be slightly higher where you make a small bench, maybe with 2 blocks on both ends underneath the pillow. And then perhaps even a blanket on top of the pillow or a second pillow. And then there on top, placing your calves. Some way of elevating your legs so they're higher than your heart when you lie down onto your back. This will be our corpse pose, so make sure that you feel comfortable to completely relax. If none of those positions work for you, then and you prefer to just lie down completely on the ground, of course, that's an option too. You might find it helpful to relax by covering your eyes with something. Sometimes a gentle weight of an eye pillow or a little towel can feel reassuring. And as you start to come into that resting position, make any last little adjustments to feel that your 2 shoulders are softened downward and they're away from your neck. Chest is broad. Your legs are relaxed. Your feet are relaxed. Your hands are relaxed. And then closing your eyes. Let's take 3 long exhalations before we let go of the breathing. So inhale, imagine breathing into your full body from your soles to your crown. Hold the breath in at the top. And then to your mouth, slowly release it. On your own, twice more, just like that. See if you might be able to lengthen the exhale slower than the inhale. And when you finish that 3rd round, all the way to empty, relax, no longer controlling your breathing. Allow your body to be still and supported. Shavasana. There is nothing mundane about healthy routines when we're building new habits and patterns and dreams. The ritual of routine is a process of reframing, undoing and redoing, unbecoming and becoming, again and again. Sense how your body has responded to your yoga practice here. Feel into any other dimensions of your being, energetic, mental, spiritual. Keep tuning in as you start to move small parts of your body, gently waking it up. Graduating into an easy stretch, and then another. And as you feel ready, begin to lift your body up, finding a comfortable seat, preparing to sit in silence for the next 5 minutes in meditation. So position your body so that you can feel grounded, awake, alert, and at ease. Choose a mudra that helps you to be present. I like to stack the palms face up at the center of my lap, bringing the thumb tips to touch. Maybe you choose to bring the thumb and index fingers to touch. Close your eyes and direct your inner gaze at one spot in your body, perhaps your third eye center, Ajna Chakra. Or keep your eyes open and steady a soft gaze just ahead. Setting the timer now for 5 minutes, land your awareness on your chosen anchor. Perhaps your breath, feeling it in one spot of your body, naturally moving in and out. Perhaps an anchoring word that you choose as your intention for this practice. Saying that word whenever you catch your attention go astray, using that word to bring you back into the here and now. Whatever your anchor, use it to return to the present moment as often as you need. As you sit here observing thoughts, feelings, sensations, images, whatever arises. And slowly expand your attention from your inner world to your physical body and to what surrounds your body in the space you're sitting in. As we close this practice, maybe bringing your palms in prayer at your heart, take a moment to acknowledge yourself, to thank yourself for showing up, for doing the work, for creating a habit of your practice. And then remind yourself of your intention for this practice today, for this new year, or for this new moon cycle. What are you intentionally creating? Remember to whom you dedicated this practice to as well. And let's close chanting one Om. Take a deep breath. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste.